Welcome to SciSpectrum Lab Essentials, your source for equipment, instrument, and consumables.
Seriously, does this feel familiar? You do everything by the book. The lights are perfect, the setup is clean, but your lettuce has those dreaded burnt tips, or your prized tomatoes just refuse to grow. You're sure you're doing it right, but your plants are telling you a different story. Well, that something that's going wrong is almost always happening silently, invisibly, right there in your water, and we're going to solve that mystery. So here's our game plan for today. We'll start with the big hydroponic challenge itself. Then we'll get into why your water quality is literally everything. After that, we'll introduce the Bluelab solution, get a really close look at the tools, and finally talk about why this is more than just a purchase, it's a serious investment in your success. Let's jump in. This really is the heart of it, isn't it? Every single grower is on a journey from guesswork to growth. You're either crossing your fingers and hoping for the best, or you're giving your plants exactly what they need when they need it. The goal is to get out of that cycle of hoping and into a rhythm of confident, repeatable success. And this is exactly where so many people get stuck. You just can't look at your reservoir and know if the conditions are right. You can't smell it, you can't see it. The entire health of your system hinges on these numbers that are completely hidden from you. Success in hydroponics is all about managing these hidden variables like a pro. So what are these invisible forces we're talking about? Well, it really just comes down to some pretty simple science. Let's break down what I call the big three, the critical measurements that make the difference between your plants feasting and thriving or starving and failing. First up, we've got pH. Now, the best way to think about pH is as the gatekeeper for all the nutrients. You could mix the most expensive, perfect nutrient solution in the world, but if your pH is out of whack, that gate is locked shut. Your plants literally can't eat the food that's all around them. It's like they're starving in a 5-star restaurant. Getting this right is absolutely non-negotiable. Next up is conductivity. This tells you the strength of your nutrient solution, how much food is actually in the water. You'll see it measured as EC, which is electrical conductivity, or ppm, parts per million. Just think of it as your food meter. This is how you avoid the two biggest blunders, either underfeeding your plants so they're weak, or overfeeding them and causing that awful nutrient burn. And finally, there's temperature. You know, the one everybody seems to forget about? If your water gets too warm, it can't hold enough oxygen and your roots can literally suffocate. If it's too cold, it shocks the whole system and slows nutrient absorption to a crawl. It's a fine balance that has a huge impact on the health of those precious roots. Okay, so how in the world are you supposed to manage all three of these things without feeling like you're in a chemistry class? Well, that's exactly where the Bluelab Starter Pack comes in. It's built from the ground up to be the complete professional-level toolkit that puts all of that control right back into your hands. And believe me, when they call this a starter pack, they are not messing around. You don't just get the two main tools, the pH and conductivity pens. You get everything you need to keep them working perfectly. You've got your cleaning solutions, your calibration liquids, the proper storage fluid to keep the probes healthy, even sample cups and brushes. It's the whole shebang, ready to go the second you open that box. All right, let's zoom in a bit. Let's take a closer look at the two stars of this kit, the pH pen and the conductivity pen. What actually makes them so good? Let's kick things off with the pH pen. I really do think of this thing as the guardian of your entire grow. It's your number one defense, the tool that makes sure that nutrient gateway we talked about is always wide open for business. Now, what's so smart about this are the little details. This thing is not some fragile piece of lab equipment. It's completely waterproof. In fact, it even floats. So you don't have that heart-stopping moment if you drop it in the reservoir. It turns itself off to save the battery, which, by the way, is just a regular AAA battery, super easy to find and replace. This thing is built for the real world. And calibration, a word that can sometimes sound a little intimidating, is just dead simple here. The instructions are printed right on the back of the pen. You follow 2 easy steps with the included solutions, and a little check mark pops up on the screen to tell you, yep, you did it right. They've made it basically foolproof. Next up, we've got its partner in crime, the conductivity pen. Right, so if the pH pen is the gatekeeper, this tool is the chef. It's the one that makes sure your plants are getting the perfect meal. Not too much, not too little, every single time. The real beauty of this pen is just how simple and reliable it is. You dip it in, and you get an instant reading in both EC and ppm. It comes ready to go right out of the box with hardly any need for calibration. It's just a tough, dependable workhorse that gives you the critical data you need to stop plant stress before it can even start. So if we just pull back for a second and look at the big picture, what do we have? We have a brand that growers trust, Bluelab. You're covering all the key measurements: pH, temperature, EC, and ppm. You've got smart features like being waterproof and having an auto-off function. And then there's that one little detail that says a lot about quality. It's all made in New Zealand. And that brings us to a really important point. This kit isn't just another tool you buy. It's a strategic investment. It's about fundamentally changing your approach from one of chance to one of certainty. And look, that's not just me saying it. Bluelab has earned this reputation out in the field for years. This is the brand that the pros rely on. We're talking everyone from huge commercial farms to the most dedicated home growers, because they know these tools work, they're accurate, and they're built to last. And this slide right here says it all. I mean, just look at the difference. On one side, you have the world of guesswork. That leads to stressed out plants, money wasted on nutrients they can't even use, disappointing harvests, and just frustration. But on the other side, with precision, you get healthy, vibrant growth, bigger yields, and the incredible confidence that comes from knowing you are in complete control. In the end, it really all comes down to a pretty simple choice. Are you going to keep guessing and hoping for a good outcome? Or are you ready to become a grower who engineers amazing results? The only thing separating the two is having the right data. So the real question is, are you ready to stop guessing and really start growing?